From the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Gardening Inside Out, a podcast with highlights from our Saturday morning live show, answering all your gardening questions, giving you plant advice for any space in your life. Let's start the show.
Hello, everyone. It's Caroline Gant.
Hello, everyone. It's Austin Lowen.
And it's Tyler Blankenship. Pleased to be back.
We are.
It
We're
is
back.
nice to be back.
Nice to be here. I enjoy talking to you guys about plants.
It's nice to be inside a minute because it is like soupy gross outside.
It's really humid.
It's like it just wants to rain so bad, but it's not going to, and it's just humid ick.
Yeah, we're in Tennessee, so it's pretty gross.
If you don't live in the South, it's kind of hard to imagine just that much heat enveloping you all the time and stuffiness.
Humid heat.
It's like a water blanket around
It's like
you.
standing in a hot pond all the time.
But sometimes I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like standing in hot ponds?
No, I'm not talking about a hot pond. That sounds gross. But just the fact that my feet aren't going to go cold. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're in your house and you got your AC on, you know, your limbs, like, can go cold sometimes.
I know. I get home from work all the time. I get home from working in this hot, environment, and then I go into my home and it's like I'm freezing.
Oh, I keep my house very warm.
We don't.
Yeah.
I wish we did. My wife cannot take it warm inside the house at all, so it's a straight up 69 or 70, and like, yeah, I get very cold very easily, so I know what you're talking about.
My
Tyler.
house is probably like 79 in the summer or hotter.
Yuck.
It's old. It's not very well, you know, what is the word I'm looking for? Not ventilated.
Insulated?
Insulated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about plants, though, y'all. Enough about this hot weather, humidity.
Well, the plants are liking the weather.
They are. My hosta bed
You just showed me.
I just showed you a picture. Y'all, it is amazing. It's full. It's gorgeous. It loves the humidity. It's in the shade. All my hosta are getting big. They're finally like growing into the bed and just starting to touch. So they're filling out. Got rocks in there, a little bunny statuary. I'm so happy. I pull down my driveway when I get home and I see it. I'm like, wow.
It is cute. Not gonna lie, it looks really nice.
Thank you.
There's something to be said about the regular rain that we've been getting, just enough to keep things like satisfied. I really haven't had to water anything.
No, I haven't watered anything. I planted my vegetables weeks ago. Watered them once. That's it.
Yeah, it's usually opposite around here. People think they need to water, and like, you really don't.
You don't. You're going to kill them by watering them too much.
You know what I did? And you did as well, Caroline. Our mixed containers for the season. I did my first 2 mixed containers. They're pretty, and I'm happy.
Mine is, I've got some mixed feelings about mine.
Yours is full. Good Lord.
It is. I shoved a bunch of plants in one pot just to see what would happen. It's a lot going on. It's very loud.
It's loud.
It's like Austin. It's loud. I usually don't go with loud colors. Don't roll your eyes at me. You know you're loud when it comes to your planting colors.
I am. Yours is real loud, though.
It's too loud.
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I might do a couple others.
I'm not necessarily mad at your color choices because I am loud and I like that, but you really went tight.
I know.
Like, no room
I
for
know.
anything to grow, really.
I went tight. I did it.
Yeah, okay.
It's full. We'll see. I'll keep y'all updated. But I did blues, yellows, oranges, and then one like magenta, like hot magenta plant. So.
And then 3 coleus put in the back of it. Like, you know what coleus does.
I know.
Oh my goodness. You're just going to
Tyler
keep
hasn't seen it
cutting
yet.
on it? No, I haven't. I'm imagining.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, I'll keep it small and in check. Actually, I won't. You know, I'm not even going to water that
Coleus
pot.
gets massive.
Oh, I know. They turn into little shrubs.
Yeah.
Listen, that's why I said I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. I might take the coleus out. I had nowhere else to stick it. I got a couple 4-packs for something, and I didn't end up using all.
Yeah, you got 7 acres out there, and you're like, I don't have any spot for coleus
Like I'm going to
anymore.
stick some coleus just out in a field.
That sounds exactly like you, really.
Yeah, that kind of does. But then my lawn guy will mow it right down. So
But
what's the
somewhere
point?
in one of your beds, you
All
had
right.
a spot for coleus.
Just
It's
get-
okay. It's
My
done.
beds are full.
Mass plants.
All right, I'm going to put it around my barn. I'll never see it. But it'll be
Around
great.
The barn. Okay.
It'll be okay. But yeah, mixed containers, y'all, it's mixed container time. If you haven't started your mixed container, start it and send us photos. We got photos from Colin. And then I didn't get him up in time.
I saw Colin today. He was out here.
Really?
Shout out Call.
Hey, Colin, I missed you today. Proud of you for all your plants, though.
Tyler, what's happening in your yard? What have you done lately?
I was going to just speak briefly about my perennial mix container, which is just catmint and phenomenal lavender. But I didn't even move it at all. It overwintered just fine. My phenomenals are now pushing buds. They've got the little stalks. They're not very tall, but they're about to bloom.
Mine is too.
And then my catmint has already bloomed, and I'm going to shave it back and get a rebloom out of it.
I've got to say, that's a very interesting choice for a mixed container. Lavender and catmint. What made you go that route? Is it a big
container?
It's one of the ones I got on our clearance sale. It's like the white tapered one that is probably like 14 inches.
Okay, so it's big. It's got, because catmint gets huge. What type of catmint did you have?
I've got 2 catmint in the front, and I think they're Junior Walker or Walker's Low. I forget which one. But they haven't gotten more than like 6 or 7 inches tall.
Oh, my Walker's Low is like a shrub.
I wonder if you got the cat's pajamas.
Maybe.
Did you get that real tight one?
I forget that. I'll have to go look at the tag.
Yeah.
But I mean, it never has gotten taller than the lavender. The lavender's planted in the back, and it's 2 phenomenal, I think, or maybe 1. I don't know. I bought 3 phenomenal. 2 of them died just because I didn't plant them in a timely manner. But
that happens to us all the time.
All the time.
But it is plenty well established, and I have it like the blooms on the lavender are real cute. They're sticking up in the back.
Are they open yet? Mine aren't open.
No.
I've got buds.
No,
but
it's cool. I didn't have to do anything. I left it in the exact same spot over winter, especially in a container with the snow and the cold. I was very impressed by the performance of the phenomenal. Also, my glacier eucalyptus is thriving.
Is it?
Yes, it overwintered just fine.
Yay!
Nice. It's got a little bit of western protection from my greenhouse that's like a couple feet away from it. So it didn't get any crazy cold wind. It did suffer a little bit of cold damage, but man, it's growing and branching, and I'm interested to see how much it's going to grow this year.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I hope we get some again, because I bought some glacier and then forgot about it and didn't water it, and it died. Sounds about right. Yeah, if I leave stuff in a container, it's gone.
Let's just say I underestimated that little guy. I was thinking, this is probably not going to work out. And I think my mom's died.
But yours is thriving.
Yes,
nice.
In the ground.
That's exciting.
So it's really exciting to have those varieties we normally can't or normally think don't do well.
Yeah.
But they are. And also, right now, red mulberries, strawberries are coming in my yard, and blueberries are also, they're not quite there yet. And I bought me a silver dollar blueberry plant yesterday.
Nice.
Because they came in with berries on them, and they're huge.
How could you not, right?
I know.
You just had to do
You've got this whole silver thing going on. You need to get some silverfalls.contra.
Yes, you do. Except
throw
we've
it
been
in that
out
mixed
of it.
container.
We get it in, and then it's gone.
Well, it's so
I wanted
good.
some for my mixed containers. I'll get some and shove that in there too.
I used that for my spillers. I used that.
You used Vinca, didn't you?
We used that, that variegated Vinca that's like really pretty,
vine.
and the variegated sweet potato pine. Sweet potato pine. No,
sweet potato
vine.
I love that. Y'all that are listening, if you're thinking about your mixed containers, the variegated sweet potato vine, it's pink, it's white, it's got a little green in it. It's like a silvery green.
I think they call it like tricolor.
Yeah,
I think
it's cute.
It's really cute.
It's cute. Everybody needs some. I want everybody to get their mixed containers together and email us some photos at gardeninginsideout@gmail.com. We want to see those photos.
Always inspirational to see where people take their containers. It's just so cool.
Everybody is so different with the way they do their containers. Like, I do love seeing that every year. Those people that just are, they go soft, they go pastel-y. People that just go with one big thing and then something ringed up around it. Like, however you choose to do it.
You're the most symmetrical.
Oh, I've got to be. I can't not.
I am not.
I know. I saw your container.
Austin, your colors are constrained too. Like you put green in between a lot of your colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can't. The colors have to mesh well. Like, I can't.
You can't do what I did. I did a pink container one year that was stunning. It was like silver, pink, and greens, and it was gorgeous.
Yeah, mine's very pink scale this year. Very much pink scale. So
It is your favorite
and
color.
I went like pink and like chartreusey colors this year. That's kind of the theme. So, but yeah, the way I plan it is extremely uniform.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Well, hey, before I forget about dichondra, I did have some planted last year in this old darkroom sink that I repurposed into a bed, and it did beautifully. Pretty much grew all the way to the ground, and that thing's like 3 feet off the ground.
Oh yeah, I've had one perennialize. It's been in the ground for 3-4 years now.
Yeah, that.
It kind of creeps into different spots in my bed when it comes back each year.
Yeah.
It's further and further out.
Yeah, the Agastaki that I had growing in there with it though did not come back. Three different ones. I think 2 of them were the same color. One wasn't. It was like a yellow and an orange or a red. I love those. They're like my favorite, and they're so finicky.
I planted some on Sunday that I got here at the nursery.
Yeah,
It was like sunset something, I think.
yeah. I was waiting for more of those colors to come
I did
in.
buy one in a pot last year. Forgot to plant it and it died.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got it home, I got it into my little pollinator bed. So it's so happy. But my
good one for
pollinator,
that.
my perennial pollinator bed. Oh my gosh.
Is that the
y'all.
one you featured on your wildflower
Yes.
gardening webinar?
Yes, it is. It is
Great.
waking up and it's going to be big.
It's been a lively year for the perennials. They are really
loving
jumping
it.
off.
Yeah.
Really good. Baptisia just finished up for me, which has been a beautiful year for that. My salvias, my Shasta daisies really going.
My Shasta daisies haven't bloomed yet. They're up and healthy looking, but I haven't gotten any blooms.
Mine are
Yours
blooming.
been-
They're just starting though.
Okay.
I'd say like 3 full blooms that are open. I planted 5, I believe, little bitty guys last year. They just sat. No, they didn't sit. They actually did okay last year, and they stayed truly evergreen. And then this spring, they just really exploded. I think I planted Snowcap, I believe, which is a little dwarf moundy boy.
I think that's the one I planted too. Mine's
So-
coming up. But my Stokes Aster, you need to plant some of that, both of you, and everyone listening.
I
right
have
now.
Stokes Aster.
Do you?
Yes.
I think that's one of my favorite perennials.
I don't know what's going on with y'all though, but my stuff's not up yet. Like my Stokes isn't up,
My Stokes stayed up all winter.
and my Baptisia is still coming up. It's not bloomed yet. It's not.
Are you serious? But you're
Yeah.
in town.
I know.
We're in a place that's like 10 degrees colder than you.
The only thing I can think of is that we mulched, over it because it was like dormant underground, and it
Could be.
could have affected it. Maybe less light reaching it, telling it to come out.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's
That's the
strange,
weirdest.
though.
Yeah, my Baptisia's 2.5 feet tall and already finished blooming for the season.
Yeah, mine's just about still got some blooms, but they're.
I mean,
after
I
the
don't.
rain last
I don't
night,
mind the
they're probably
slowness.
gone.
I want it.
But
to
your
stick around.
Stokes Aster, it went completely dormant because mine stayed evergreen through the.
Well, it's the little mound is evergreen, but no blooms, no stalks yet, or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, mine's not blooming yet. I'm just saying it
Oh,
looks
okay.
like
Okay.
good and healthy and strong.
Yes, I do like that it sticks around. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm over here.
I'm
I'll
just
be
doing my
fine.
thing. I'm over
The
here
same,
just chilling.
Yeah, same thing with
hanging out.
dianthus. I like it in that way.
Oh yes, I love my dianthus.
Little happy sleepy mounds.
Yeah, I
ready
know
to
you.
bloom.
I know you don't like it. Listen,
My fave.
couple falls ago, we had some dianthus left, and I was like, I'm gonna try one of these. I was like, Austin, what do you think? He was like, oh, Caroline, don't do it. You're gonna hate it. And I was actually gonna get like 6 because they were on sale. So I was like, I'll just do one and I'll try it. Y'all, it's so good. It's like a cute little ground cover. Stays up through the winter. It's just about done blooming right now. It's so clean. Weeds can't come up in between it because it's so densely packed. Yeah, maybe in like 2 years it won't look so good. It'll die out in the center. But I'm a fan right now.
When it's good, but I've seen it ratty, and I have seen people let the weeds go too long in between it.
No,
and then
I won't
it
do
just
that. That will
doesn't-
drive me insane.
It looks awful when you let that happen, but
I did have one that I planted for a client of mine, and it did not do well. Unfortunately, it was probably a water situation. They wanted low maintenance, and that one wasn't quite it.
it happens sometimes.
Mine's up on like a mound. It's really dry, really good drainage. So
Yeah.
might be it.
Hey, you know what's about to be? The time of season for. That was a horrible sentence. I want to try to
What?
restart that. Yeah, that was bad.
That was
sentence.
pretty bad.
Things that are happening. The hydrangeas are budding.
Oh
It's
my
about
gosh,
to
yes.
be. First one for us to open up around here is the oak leaf hydrangeas, and those are really, really budded.
My
Mine are
snowsickle's
blooming.
about to.
Blooming?
See,
Yes.
what is
See?
going on? See, none of mine are blooming. My
Mine-
snowsickle is
Well-
about to bloom.
My oak leafs get afternoon sun,
Oh, mine
and
are,
they're hanging
mine are
in
morning
there. But
for
they
quite
are
a while.
they are like
Actively
white blooming.
Nice. So it is hydrangea season. Yay!
Yay! Austin's favorite time of year.
My quick fire on a tree form is all budded
Is it
up.
budded
nice,
up? Mine's
Fired
not budded
up,
up
if
yet.
you will.
None of my panicle hydrangeas are budded up yet.
Those are the last, and yeah, you're right. I haven't noticed those quite yet either. The serratas, the mountain hydrangeas, they're budded up. I've got a few blue billow boys.
Well, mine are because I just bought them, so
That doesn't
already
count.
budded up when I
Mine came
bought
back
them.
from last year, and they're budded.
How big are yours?
Tiny. They're stupidly slow.
Stupid. You've had those in the ground since 2020 because I bought some at the same time and then I mowed mine down and they never came back.
I call them Billy. And I'm like, come on, Billy.
Come on, Bailey, grow a little faster. Do you have
Dang.
2 or 3?
I did have 3.
No, you have 2.
The old winter of 2022
I do feel like
was a rough one.
we're going to be talking about it like that.
Yeah, it's
Back
going to
in
be years.
22.
Yeah, it will be. But I need Billy to grow on up.
Yeah,
Both
you
of
do.
them.
Grow
It's
on
two
up,
Billies.
Billy. All right, Billy.
Stupid.
I
All
think
right.
we're ready to get into this week's
Let's do it.
broadcast.
Yes.
I don't even remember what we talked about.
Doesn't
so
matter. Y'all are about to hear it.
Y'all are about to hear it. I'll hear it again. We don't even need to mention what it is because it's about to be in your ears. So enjoy our broadcast from Saturday, May 5th.
4th.
May 4th.
May the 4th be
Saturday,
with you.
Yes.
May 4th. Enjoy.
Yes.
Speaking of roses, this is like the week to come out and see and smell the roses, y'all.
Yes, it
We got
is.
the roses in like a week and a half ago, but this week is the week where you get to see the actual color. You get to smell the actual smell. You get to see and count the petal count.
You don't have to speculate.
No,
you don't.
You get to choose, and this is the time to see them.
It's like a sea of roses out there.
It really is.
So much color.
And if you're thinking ahead just a little bit of the curve, Mother's Day is, just around the corner. If you're thinking about a gift, you don't know quite what to gift, and you want the best selection, now's a really good time to be taking advantage of that because,
They got
as you
stuff.
say,
they
getting to
got
see
stuff.
that color, getting to smell the fragrance that might be associated with it, you only get that opportunity.
Maybe
when
Mama
they're
wants a
actually-
tomato plant
maybe.
Maybe.
Or a houseplant.
or a house plant.
Yeah.
And Mama loves a good 12, dozen roses in a vase, but at the same time, she only gets to enjoy that for a week or two. Get
Or
her
a
a
living
rose
one.
that's in a pot with roots.
Absolutely.
She might be able to love it for years.
That's right.
Do it.
Hopefully.
But you have to plant it for her. If you buy her a rose plant, you have to. That's part of the deal on
That
Mama's
is true.
Day.
You're right. That's true. I always get all the moms in my life plant gifts every year.
Yes,
It's one of my favorite times, actually.
absolutely.
It's a good time. It's a great, great holiday. But come out and see us. Get some stuff for Mother's Day. Or just look at the flowers and the roses.
Well, a lot of people do find a lot of therapeutic value in just coming out and walking around and taking it all in, and we certainly encourage you to do that. And we really get to see a plethora of folks this time of year, and it's kind of almost for me in a way somewhat of a reunion type. I don't get to see everybody that comes in because I'm not right up here at the front all the time, but I always enjoy getting to visit for a few minutes with all the familiar faces. So certainly invite you to come on out and say hello.
It's worth the drive.
I
It's
think
worth it, folks. I'm telling you.
we've heard that it is, and we try to make that be something that people don't have to question. They know they're going to see things here from a horticultural standpoint, in particular, that they won't see elsewhere. There may be other areas where that also pertains.
I think
but
we got unusual
with respect
stuff.
to horticulture.
Why?
So earlier this week, I can't remember what day it was. Maybe it was Tuesday. I walked out and Austin, Owen, and maybe Steve were wrapping this blue spruce like a Dr. Seuss character. And where was it going?
Back to Michigan.
Back to
Wow.
Michigan.
They made the drive from Michigan, people. Like, seriously, they saw on our website, on our inventory, that we had some good-looking blue spruce. And we do. They look real nice right now. But they had to get it all the way back to Michigan in a pickup truck. So
Wow,
we had to
that's
do
bold.
some wrapping.
That is very bold.
They brought burlap, which was nice, like a roll of burlap, and I tied it up first real tight with Owen and Steve's help for sure. And then we wrapped burlap around the whole thing and then re-tied it up. It looked like they had bodies in the bed of their truck. They're all wrapped up tight, but no, they were blue spruce going
They
back
were plants.
north, baby.
So how many did they?
They bought two, one real big one and then one medium-sized one.
Wow.
Wow.
But man, they were specimens. They looked nice. They were very happy to get them back to Michigan.
Well, and that's another nice indication that what we say is true about it being worth the drive from anywhere. So we appreciate them being actually willing to go to any length. That's not a small distance to drive to pick up a couple of plants. Really surprised that those weren't available in.
That's what we all
see them
said.
everywhere in Michigan.
Yeah, they might have been looking for an excuse to honky tonk in Nashville.
They were going to more
They
than one.
did do that.
They were going to more
They
than
told me.
one.
They were on Broadway the night before.
Best they
You got
remember.
to.
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about the nursery here, but somebody asked, do you have more vegetable starts coming? Yes. We are full. We've got more coming. I don't know when they're going to stop. So come on out, see what we've got.
I think
grab
it's
them
safe.
off the shelf.
I think it's safe to say we are at our peak of what we will have vegetable plant wise, and they become increasingly less available from this point forward. Now that doesn't mean we have a
don't
limited
have them.
selection. We have a huge selection.
The overflow area is still
full.
flowing.
We're as great a job as Jane and all of the crew in the greenhouse do. You can't get more things in the greenhouse.
Can't put 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag.
It's very difficult. So it gives us some area to restock from. So yeah, you can come out and shop with confidence, knowing that we've got a tremendous selection, and there's
You want a color? They got them all.
We got everything. Well, maybe not everything, but we got a lot.
We pretty much do. And hey, y'all, it's May. Like, time to get them veggies out.
I saw
All right?
some
It's
really
time.
pretty white.
There is no
salt and
ambiguity
pepper
anymore.
petunias last week. They're gorgeous.
No, speaking of petunias, here's one that you'll find interesting in, Austin. I forgot to send you the link that there are some bioluminescent petunias on the
Yes.
horizon.
I've seen this. I've seen this.
So I don't know they'll be out until probably next year before they're generally available, but looking forward to seeing that where they actually light up
teeth.
at night.
They have teeth, I bet.
That
No
I
teeth
hope
yet.
not.
terrifying, Josh.
The blooms on them glow in the dark.
Yes. This is real. I've seen this actually when I was in college. I saw that in Japan they decided to do this same thing to tobacco plants for some reason, and they showed a picture of it, and the tobacco was glowing at night.
So you don't have to fumble for your cigarettes in
That's
the
right.
dark. You can just find them right there.
It was crazy, but that was years ago. So now the petunia, they're doing it with petunias. Oh, you know,
You
I'm gonna
love
be the first
petunias.
to get them.
Your whole bed's going to glow in the dark. Hey, let's stay on the vegetable topic.
Okay.
Fun crop to plant once the lettuce taps out. It's in the same bed. What's fun, y'all?
What's fun? God,
Carrots?
what's fun? Carrots.
Carrots are a good
Radishes.
time. Yeah, radishes
are
are
a good
fun.
The reputation for carrots is well founded. I mean, they do get around
They
in
do.
the vegetable world.
They do.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this last week on our podcast a little bit about carrots and how our soils around here aren't like super, soft. Okay, so a lot of times the clay and rocks or whatever will make a carrot do a funny thing.
Oh, they
you know?
grow like crazy. I always do mine in raised beds because they do better. But yeah, they look like little people sometimes. when you pull them
Sometimes,
out.
yeah.
Tyler was talking about how he's scared of them.
Are they going to glow in the dark too?
Oh, maybe one day. Spooky carrots. So carrots, that's going to be the fun thing. Fun and
You
exciting
know what?
thing.
Why not? Carrots are fun. When you jerk one out of the earth and you get a carrot, it's like, this is cool.
You don't know what it's going to look like.
You don't. You never
Yeah,
know.
you
Like I said,
never
it can
know.
hit a rock and then make a weird fork, another weird fork, and
They
then you
could
got
have
a...
arms
And
and
then it's got
legs
legs.
on them. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then it's alive. All right, tomato looks droopy, has been repotted and watered. It was very thick, so I trimmed the leaves.
Okay.
What's going to make that tomato droop?
Well, typically it's an underwater scenario if a tomato's wilting, but you said you watered it, so it should perk back up, you would think. I mean, most tomatoes, if they wilt, you can water them and they literally perk back in 20,
Seems
30
a
days.
little early for a cutworm to be an issue, doesn't it?
Yeah, you would think. I mean, in that case, it wilts and then dies very quickly, like with a cutworm. They straight up
Right.
cut it.
Right.
So hopefully it's not that, but hopefully it perks up for you, okay? You watered it. Just settle in. You pruned
settle
off a little
on
bit. It should reshoot. Should be all right.
Yep.
My vegetable bed is popping off. I sent you guys some pictures last night. I already have some squash coming in.
Saw that. It was early for squash, but hey.
I planted early this year. I planted way earlier than ever before.
I would say squash plants are the most underestimated size-wise garden plants that there are, because
yes.
you plant it, it looks so innocent. Go, well, yeah, I can put 3 of these in here. You don't have room for one. I mean, by the time August rolls around, it has taken over the entire garden.
Yes.
They are
But
a
it's the
force
best.
of
And you're
nature.
so sick of squash that you're just not going to eat anymore. You're
I'll
giving
never be sick of squash.
Oh,
It's really a
We'll come back around to that in 1 month.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Earth Mix, featuring Garden Premium Topsoil Blend. This essential mix includes Tennessee subsoil, supernatural organic compost, humic acid, and mycorrhizal fungi to create a truly living soil. Garden topsoil is perfect for establishing raised, edible, and ornamental garden beds, as well as for planting trees, shrubs, and other landscape plants. Bulk and super sack options available. Visit earthmix.net to discover their entire line of soils and amendments and helpful blog posts. Success begins at the ground level when you use EarthMix garden products.
And also shout out to what is happening.
In bloom
So perfect.
with
Ba-bum-bum.
Austin.
Things are blooming, y'all. Just look around. You're going to see a flower, okay? Tyler, throw up that first one. Throw up the first one.
now.
Tyler,
Hey!
Oh,
Look, that's my house. That's creeping time.
look at your house.
Y'all, I put 5 of those out, and they're cute,
That's
y'all.
adorable.
The little ground cover creeping time. And look, there's hardly any weeds in the middle of that, and I did not weed it before the picture. I just wanted to show you. It is like dark below it, so no weeds are popping up through that creeping time. It just
and you can
is
eat it.
beautiful. You can eat it if you want. Hey, it's the perennial time of year, y'all. Salvia. Poppies. Caroline sent a picture of her poppy last night. My God. Tyler, we're not ready for that yet. Okay. Dianthus is still going as a ground cover. My Shasta daisies, the white ones, just popped up the other day. They're looking nice. Yarrow in Tyler's yard. You sent a picture last night. Your yarrow's beautiful, Tyler. Good work. Catmint going on. I hear some weird noise. Iris is still going. Daylilies just popped. Just saw it this morning. First one just popped. Amsonia is still going. Great plant. Shout out Bridge. She loves it.
Yes.
Peonies, y'all. Your peonies. They are blooming, and I bet you they're flopping a little bit.
They are.
Yes, they were last night, but
It
mine
got a little
popped
rainy.
this morning.
Yep.
They popped out this today.
And they
Oh.
did. Peonies are great. Even when they're laying on the ground, you know what? They're still great.
We got
okay?
accused of swooning over peonies last week, by the way. So we didn't swoon.
You know, we're not above that.
I will always
By
swoon over
whom?
them. Always.
Hey,
Ain't no shame
a
in that.
valued listener and viewer. So
Okay, nice. So, getting to the shrubs. Hey, your roses, y'all. If you're the first flush roses, there's nothing better. I mean, it's the best one. So enjoy it because it's not going to stay like forever. They're roses. Okay, hollies are still going. You know what I forgot last week? I'm not going to forget this week because they're everywhere. Blackberries, good
Yes.
Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere in the woods. Raspberries are going off too, okay? I wrote roses again. That's funny. Rose is still going. Rhododendron, y'all, still. I mean, azaleas are still going, but they're like not great. They're kind of on their way out. Rhododendrons are at peak right now, at absolute peak. Looking great. Weigela and Deutzia, 2 underused shrubs that are old school, still going at it. Our vines are still happening. Clematis is gorgeous right now. Crossvine's okay. Honeysuckle is going this week.
Blew by that one.
Honeysuckle all in the woods. Y'all see it. It's doing its thing. Wisteria is still going, Josh.
Yes.
You're welcome. And Coosa Dogwoods just happened this week, y'all. Coosa Dogwood, green with white. They're
Love 'em.
so good.
Yes.
Smoke tree, Josh. You talked about that a couple weeks ago. It wasn't blooming yet. It is now.
Oh, I
It
saw
is
one
in
the other
bloom.
day that was stunning.
And then Tyler, last one. Actually, no, wait. The bad ones. Privet and Primrose. Privet just
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
It is nasty. Nasty. A little annual that I find really cute that's popping up. Bachelor button.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you ain't grown
Those are
bachelor
cute.
button, that is cute.
They are very
And then
cute.
Tyler, throw it up. The last pick of the day. Once again, at my house, Chinese fringe tree.
Wow.
Hey.
You sang that. You're so excited.
Gosh, look at it though. Just frilly white blooms. Fantastic. That is what's in bloom.
That's gorgeous. Hey, you know, you kind of bad-mouthed Crossvine in a way.
I thought he did too.
So I just wanted
you
to
know?
bring
What-
up
what is that all
It's
about?
because he's a little bit jealous.
What
because
has Crossvine ever done to you?
Never did
jealous.
anything.
I'm not
Hey,
jealous.
There was a viewer that was here just the other day. You
I remember.
A cart full of Crossvine, and he said, "I'm buying this because of Caroline."
Uh-huh.
And then Austin said, "No, no clematis," and he said, "No."
oh no,
He did. He said it just like that too. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're
He
missing.
had 4 Monrovia Crossvine that looked beautiful on that cart.
Yeah, and I'm like, take home that orange
Stop
that's
it.
like
zip,
not pretty.
zip that mouth right now. Zip
You
it.
should next week. Y'all are getting to pick a clematis. Get ready.
Yes.
All right.
Crossvine.
Well, let's get to some more questions because we do have an abundance. So, switching back around to our vegetable talk, Colin chimed in on Facebook and says, I was able to fit 2 zucchini pretty close to each other as far as zucchini goes by training them up some bamboo poles. Great idea. I let mine kind of trail out of my raised bed, so I plant them on the side and they'll go out a little bit, just to give more space to all of those plants. And then Joan on Facebook said, I went a little crazy pruning my Jane Magnolia. It's 14 years old and about 14 foot tall. There were a lot of limbs crossing, so I cut them out. Also, many smaller shoots I cut out. It's very open now. Please tell me I didn't do more harm than good.
You did great. I'm proud of you.
That
you did it
sounds
after it
exactly
bloomed.
like how you would tell them
Exactly.
to do
You did it after it bloomed like you're supposed to. You took
Yes.
crossing limbs or dead or dying or tiny or not, productive. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. Great work. You opened it up. Airflow, light. You're going to get nice leaves. You're going to get a great flower show next year.
We here at Gardening Inside Out are very proud of you. You did it right. All right, every year my peony has 1 round of blooms, but all the follow-up buds die before blooming. I mean, mine bloom, and they've got these tiny little buds that never open. It's like they sent all their energy to, some blooms that they choose or chose. Choose and chose.
Yeah, it does seem to be like that. It's like the big prominent buds will flower, and then those little ones just never really finish. And it's not, unnormal. That does happen.
Unnormal.
Yeah, that's
We're not good with
That
words
is
this
unnormal.
morning.
Or abnormal.
abnormal. That's it, David.
Abnormal.
Thank you, sir.
I was here for it. I was totally here for it.
Unnormal.
I contend that plants have X amount of energy.
Yes.
And they expend that energy in the best way that they can manifest their various attributes. So if there's a lot of buds, it may be just like Austin was referring to, that the biggest and the best get that most energy, and maybe there's some lesser buds that just they go, we've already put our best effort out there. Let's don't.
Let's not send it somewhere else.
Nah, that's right.
Would some
What
bloom
about
booster
this?
help?
Got 4 Incrediballs planted at the same time in the same conditions, but one is incredibly smaller than the others.
Great question.
Great.
All
And
the
also
words are great
wordplay,
today.
fantastic.
We're all killing it. So something's different, and this happens a lot. We see this all the time. Everybody will tell me, I planted them the same way. I put them all kind of in the same spot.
And we don't
but
doubt it.
yet one is, we don't. I believe you. But one is not doing as good as the other ones. Well, there's something going on down below in the bottom, in the hole typically. So it may not have the nutrient that the other ones have. It's not getting as big. It's kind of part of gardening, y'all. Things do happen like that. We're no different. We plant stuff, and there may be one that just looks a little smaller or not as good as the other one. It's part of it. Maybe you can fertilize. Come out here. Let's get a fertilizer for you. Let's see if we can't boost that Incrediball to where it's Incrediballing for you.
I had one die.
Incrediballing out. There you go.
Incrediballing out. Hey, that was pretty good. Let's get a couple more questions. And how do you keep ornamental grass from spreading?
You don't.
You don't. I mean,
Or you buy a real clean one that doesn't really spread?
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you're really worried about maybe seed production or something, cut off the seed heads whenever they go to seed, then they won't be able to spread at all. But most ornamental grasses don't really spread.
My Northwind switchgrass, it gets a little bit bigger every year,
Yeah,
but it stays contained.
Yeah, I mean, they clump. There's some old school grasses out there that are pretty nasty and can make some big old rings. What's that one, David, that real big one? We talked about it last year. It's that old school one that gets huge.
The pompous one?
Oh, I know the one that's Josh sent a picture to the group thread. I think that's the one
Yeah,
you're
it was like
talking
that
about.
variegated, real big one.
Oh, yeah.
David, I don't remember.
We don't sell it anymore.
We don't sell it, but
variegated maiden grass or something like that. That was.
it was one of them big ones. I can't remember. But anyway, for the most part, grasses don't really spread and take over or anything. But
Well, the good thing about the grasses are, and we'll give credit where it's due, this is the Bridget influence, is that we've gotten a lot more excellent native type cultivars into our selection, and those are all decidedly non-invasive. They really clump nicely. as Caroline was alluding to, they'll get thicker and grow bigger. So if you want to dig one up and divide it, you can do that. But they don't send out runners and shoots that make them invasive and run into areas you don't want them to be.
Right, and folks, the one that I sent the picture of, you really wouldn't think of it as a grass, but it is. But I mean, I picture this as being started as a number 2 or a number 5 planted right in the middle of the yard. This, what I'm talking about, was about 15 feet across, and they get huge, massive tall.
Well, I've seen. I was in Brentwood last night and around some commercial landscape areas where the landscape is dominated and by switch grasses and other grasses that are really coming along and looking nice. So that's a very encouraging sign because so often for decades. The commercial landscapes they've just kind of been dominated by things that are going to overgrow the area. And the grasses will really stay put and stay within the confines for a long, long time. And that's something that you got to work at too hard.
All right, what is a good shade shrub? I like Japanese plum yew.
Yeah,
That's
you
my
always love the
go-to.
plum yew.
I know, and I will always love it.
Akuba comes to mind. There's some azaleas that are nice in some part shade environments. Your hydrangeas. I mean, the garden hydrangeas, the macrophyllus, the arborescens, which is the incredible types, or the annabelles, totally fine in shade. Kind of depends if you want evergreen, if you want flowering. But my God, there's a lot of options for shade shrubs around here.
Yeah,
my
where
witch
do you
hazel
find them?
does fine. It's not in full shade, but it's shaded most of the day. Gorgeous.
Golden Japanese forest grass, whenever it's available. The Hakanakloa is another really another great choice. Pieris japonica, if you're really wanting to feel adventuresome, it's a tough plant to grow. I'm gonna kid you on that one.
It's worth it when it latches in.
Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Bates Nursery and Garden Center. Spring is at our doorstep, and if your plans involve improving your landscape or starting a garden, then Bates Nursery is the essential place for what you need. They offer the largest selection of plants in the Southeast, from unique flowers and trees to tropicals, roses, houseplants, and native plants. Bates Nursery's 92 years of serving Nashville gives them unparalleled experience in stocking the plants that perform best for your home. Their friendly staff of horticulture experts are ready to assist you with your gardening needs. Located minutes from downtown Nashville in beautiful Whites Creek, Tennessee, just off Briley Parkway at exit 19. Shop inventory online before you visit at batesnursery.com. Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932.
What can I plant on the side of the house with little to no sun, but has irrigation? That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, if you have irrigation and it stays kind of moist and shady, a steel bee is a really good plant to use.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Maybe Itea.
Maybe Itea as a shrub if you want that great fall color, great bloomer, easy plant to grow.
Moss.
Yeah, moss it probably will grow if you just don't do anything.
Right.
Even some ferns can take that. Now, don't keep ferns too wet around here if it's not like well drained. Ferns like moist, but it's got to be like well drained moist. Okay, so do that. But yeah, a shady kind of wet spot's a little bit tricky for us. But like I said, a steel bee, Itea, those are some good ones to use.
I love a still bee. And we've got some in from, we don't have them anymore. They sold out. So zipping it. Recommendations to get rid of Chinese privet. Oh, I have it pop up everywhere when you're talking about that.
I have been fighting it for 15 years. You don't get rid of it.
You really don't. No. I hate to say it, but it is so hard once you've got it or you've got one shrub. I mean, you can cut it to the dirt. What you going to do?
Dig it up,
pop it right back up.
It still comes right up over here.
Well,
still does.
It's such a prolific seed producer. Yeah. The real issue. Plus, it gives you that little rhizomatic action also where it's not really, it's a very determined plant.
Yeah.
So it takes a very determined effort that goes on for years and years and years to ever get rid of it.
Margaret, your Japanese maples will be fine against the cicada onslaught. It's only 2.5 years old. Now, don't worry about it, Margaret.
Yeah, and here's what's going to happen, and I talked about it in my newsletter just a little bit. The stems that are about the size of a number 2 pencil are the ones that are really the prime target. Any tree that has them, they're going to lay eggs on those. And if they are a little on the smaller side, when those eggs grow, they weaken the stem. That branch can do what we call flagging.
Yeah.
It can just snap off because it has been weakened at that spot.
Yep.
You just simply just throw it away, that stem, let it keep growing out. By next year, you'll never know it even happened.
It'll be
so,
fine.
so you could put netting and all that. I don't know that it's worth all the effort.
I don't think so.
No. How about, do I need to fertilize my limelights more than once? Hollytone made them explode.
I wouldn't waste your money. Use your fertilizer elsewhere. Limelights are growing machines, and if it's already growing and it's exploding, then you've done good. I don't think you need any more. I mean, really, they're growing machines.
I've got Annabelles at my house now. Perhaps Renee has fertilized them. I never have. They're once they become established,
Right.
they're almost an autopilot. Trim them once a year.
Yeah,
Boom,
exactly.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Why do so many of the crepe myrtles around town die and restart from the base this year?
Gets cold.
Because 0 degrees and negatives
Yes.
that we had over the winter.
Has
y'all.
that effect on boxwoods as well? doesn't it?
Thanks, David. Thanks. But crepe myrtle definitely. I mean, and it's my Justin Brower's in the front, like what y'all saw, death and destruction, and it was awful. Right behind him is like a 15 to 18 foot crepe myrtle that's leafing out from all the sticks. It was right next to him.
Yes.
So I hate to say it, but it just happens. Some do, some don't, and there was a number of them that did this year. So if it happened to you, they're not leafing out from the sticks. Cut back those stems. Let the new stuff flush. It will be a tree again.
That's how mine's coming back. Death and destruction. You're a little bit dramatic.
Always.
How about suggestions on what to plant around a large sinkhole?
Well, don't get too close. First off,
You might
Fence.
fall in.
Yes.
A fence. Plant a fence. Josh, that's perfect.
Seriously, folks. I mean, around here, that's a natural drainage area. So I mean, you're gonna.
whatever you plant something that gets like dense and like
Yes.
makes people not want to go to that sinkhole. I would assume.
Bodock trees. I mean, come on, put them around there. You don't want a kid or an animal or something falling into
I
that
mean,
hole.
as a younger guy, I was an avid spelunker.
I know.
And the sinkholes are where
That's
the
the
water intrudes into the ground to be able to make the limestone
Yes,
melt
you're right.
away and creates these caverns, which are wonderful.
Try them in Florida.
Yeah. So anyway,
You don't want 'em.
I'd plant stuff all the way around it where it's so thick that
That you
you
can't
can't
see
fall
it.
into it.
You can't fall in. Also, this comes from Jay, who asked a question a little earlier. How do I get rid of Carolina creeper vines and wild violet? Wild violet, I just pull that. I take my shovel, I go in there, and I pull it up.
You gotta dig it.
Wait for warm weather. It'll just it'll
Gotta dig
It'll
it
go
up.
away itself. Yeah, it'll come back. But the vines can be a little tricky too because a lot of times they have
Really tough to get rid
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, their root systems are extensive, and pulling them up is one thing. You can get rid of them for a little while. They're probably coming back. Honestly, y'all, it's a constant battle. It's a constant battle with humans and nature.
We just gave up in our yard. I've got a lot of wild strawberries and violets, and we just stopped using herbicide altogether several years ago. We just mow it, and you know what? When the weather gets hot,
It
they
goes away.
diminish and the grass comes up, and it's okay.
Because
you
even
know?
even with some of the potions, it's going to come back next spring.
comes back. That's
Yeah.
the
I
thing.
mean, every year.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I just pull them up out of my beds. What is your solution for slugs? My little honeysuckle is gone overnight. We've got Sluggo.
we
That's
do.
one.
You know
Beer.
what I found out yesterday?
No, you're not going to talk about it.
I am going to talk about it. You know what? I'm
Okay.
bringing it up.
Oh,
right.
Austin's
I have chickens.
aggravated.
chickens.
Chickens love Sluggo. Oh my God, I came home last night to destruction of my petunias. I put Sluggo around all my petunias because slugs love petunias. I was starting to see damage. Shook around the Sluggo, put it all out, took all the time to do it. Come home last night. Chickens pecked and scratched all my petunias and ate all the Sluggo. I told my wife I was going to kill all of our chickens last night. I
You
was
have a
furious.
big dinner, though.
Are you going to be eating those eggs?
I'm going to be eating those chickens, David.
I'd let them age a little.
Austin, are you okay?
No, I'm annoyed.
I would give
Some-
them.
Petunias and his boxwoods are messed with.
It's conspiring against you.
It
Austin.
seriously,
Y'all,
nature.
He has a
I think it
photo
was
of
the
it.
chickens that got
and
the boxwoods too. Forget about this cold weather. They're out there.
Oh my God! I told Caroline earlier this morning I need a new segment that's just Austin's annoyed.
But y'all, he's got a photo of it. His petunias look so sad.
Thanks.
Some of them, they do. Some of them are just flattened.
But the chickens look great.
Yes.
There's the upside.
Austin's gonna need a
The chickens are slug free. Right? I'm real happy about that. Thanks, everybody.
It'll be okay. They'll flush back out. Just give them a little prune.
The chickens?
No, those chickens,
chickens are plain
those chickens
flushed.
will not be okay.
I hope that sluggo kills them.
Oh, no.
Sorry, that's not true. I love the chicken.
You do. Your chickens are cute.
just salty
How
about
can
it.
you not love them?
salty cracker.
Yeah, Pete is going to be all over us next week.
So, slug solutions then, other than Sluggo.
We talk about beer. Beer in little caps.
Well,
They'll
that ain't
go
happening
into
in
it and
Austin's
drown.
house. He will not
Don't
waste
waste it.
Austin's, y'all, he's not okay. We're ending on this
Oh,
note.
gosh.
I shouldn't have brought that question up.
Come out here and hug me today, people.
Come out and give Austin a hug. Smell some roses.
He needs
Hugging
it.
Austin.
You know what? It's a difficult spot to be in, and we
Yes.
appreciate you being here
Yes.
and struggling through it. You know what? Because not everything in the garden is always easy, but it's always a fun adventure ultimately. So,
But if you haven't learned anything today, you know that chickens love Sluggo. So
if you've got
that's
chickens,
the kind of information.
we're just saying you don't. You know, they don't tell you that on the package either.
No.
It doesn't say don't use where your
Around
chickens are.
are.
pecking around.
Raccoons like it too.
Yep, they
great.
do.
Yeah.
All righty, folks. Music means we've got to get out of here. But hey, come out here to Bates Nursery and Garden Center. Got all the color, got all the green, got all everything. You got pots, pans, everything out here. Pans for underneath the bottom. Yeah, you got those too.
We got some stuff.
Got trees, you got ground covers, you got everything, and it's worth the drive from anywhere. Hey, next Saturday morning, we're going to come back and do another hour of Gardening Inside Out right here from the Green Room Studio. See you next week.
I need a hug.
Thank you for tuning into the Gardening Inside Out podcast. If you're looking for more information or more from your hosts, don't forget that we have a live Saturday morning broadcast, 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and Facebook. You can also follow us on our Instagram channel. That's @Gardening Inside Out for more posts, reels, and in-depth dives to topics and things we've discussed on the show. If our content resonates with you, consider giving us a follow, like, and subscription on all of our social media pages. See you next time.